Presentation, we are going to talk about extraordinary clients today. So let's get to it. All right. So your clients are the answer to your video strategy questions. Your clients are the answer to a lot of your business questions. The good ones are, anyway. And so in this presentation, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to define the primary term that I've kind of built this whole system around, extraordinary clients. Then we'll go through an exercise that will help you identify your extraordinary clients. And then we'll use what we've learned to put together a real simple strategy tied to all of that. Okay, so extraordinary clients, what are they? This is a term that I started to use and explore somewhat recently, but I think it tells the story of what you're looking for pretty well. These are not your typical clients. These are the clients that are great for your business. These are the ones that help you grow. They help you learn. You may learn together. They're great to work with. And you and they are successful together. You make great products, make great projects, make breakthroughs, or whatever term fits your business. Uh, and this type of client, for those of you who know me well, is the opposite of a grinder. But the grinder is a story for another day. There's a link in the presentation that I have shared out in the chat if you want to hop through that link and check that out for yourself. The long and short of why we're interested in extraordinary clients is that once you find a client that lights you up, it supercharges your business. They're great to work for. They make you excited to do the work that you do. You want to use their influence everywhere, especially for a solopreneur. You're doing the work and you should be happy and fulfilled in doing the work that you have chosen to do. Marketing, sales, business practices and policies, communication techniques, business growth strategies, all of it. Consider what's best and what is preferred by your extraordinary clients. So, how do you find these extraordinary clients? Well, you probably already have some. So, let's do an exercise to uncover who they are. Mhm. Okay. And we are going to jump over to the Video Strategy Blueprint 2.1. I did send out a link to those of you who are RSVP'd via LinkedIn. If you have not had access to this link, it's in the show notes for the live streams, and or you could download it at blueprint.vidwheel.com. And for the exercise itself right now, it's probably actually best that you just use a blank sheet of paper and reference the worksheet in this PDF, which I'll have up on screen too. So here we go. If I can just find the notes that I am supposed to jump to. Yes. All right. So this is the Video Strategy Blueprint version 2.1. Where you're going to want to get to here is down to page 9 is the actual worksheet if you want to reference it. Um, the the previous few pages kind of give you a step by step of how to work through these things if you just want to do a non-interactive version. So this, though, is an exercise that I've been doing for years in some capacity, and it's incredible for bringing clarity to these extraordinary clients or really other aspects of your business. And it's based on past clients, current clients, and for those who have no clients yet, projected clients. So for every business, the right number of clients that you need to do to kind of complete this exercise is going to be a bit different. But for the purposes of this meeting, we're doing this brain dump style. So I will give you 2 minutes. All I want you to do is write down on the left side of your paper or within this worksheet your current, maybe recent clients. Don't give it a lot of thought. Don't think about who's best, worst. Just jot them all down, and I will start the timer on that. Okay, so time's up. We're going to move on to the next column here, which is we are now going to start to rate these clients. First thing we want to rate them on is time. I will ask you to rate them on a scale from 0 to 3, and 0 being the worst, 3 being the best. When we talk about time, we're talking about, do they respect your time? Do they expect things immediately, or do they give you reasonable lead time? Do they disrupt your schedule with their projects and requests, or are they accommodating to you in your business? And last, do they take a disproportionate amount of time from either what you have planned in scope for them or for their value as a client? So, on that, next to that list, to the right there, you can see a time um, column. You can go ahead and rate each one of those clients. Again, this is just off the top of your head. So, I'm only going to give you 1 minute to complete it, but go ahead and do it. Okay, excellent. Okay, on to the second column, value. Same thing. You're going to rate your clients next on value in that next column, 0 to 3. Some of the questions you can ask yourself to help kind of determine value are: does this client haggle on price? Do they pay on time? Are they profitable? Or do they offer some other type of value like referrals and non monetary value? Are they a great strategic partner? These things can factor into this rating as well. But 0 means there's very little value there, and 3 means they're essential to growing your business. So, again, you get 1 minute and go. Okay, next thing, we're going to rate on project 0 to 3. Look at how projects and, however you've worked together in the past have turned out. Did the project turn out well for the client? Did it turn out well for you? Was it a success on both sides? Is it work that you enjoy doing? If you're doing work that you don't enjoy, it might not be a great thing to look for more clients like that one. You might just want to kind of move on from them. Um, was the process smooth? And now this can somewhat fall on you as the business, or especially as a busy solopreneur. But I find very often clients who are less likely to listen and take direction, or maybe want to do things out of order, can really cause some of their own problems. So kind of look at it through that lens. How was it working with them? And again, 0 to 3, 3 being top projects, great results, projects you want to do more of in the future, and 0 being, well, dismal failures. Go ahead and rate those clients. We'll do 1 more minute. All right. Now that we've done all that, we're going to do some math. It's not hard math, but you can get your calculator out if you need it. We are going to take those 3 ratings and we're going to multiply them together to get the total over on this side. Which means if you had a client that has all 3s, 27 is your total. And if you have a client that has a 0 in any one of those categories, the total is a 0. And this is one of the keys to this exercise, the 0. We multiply because when you multiply anything by a 0, you get 0. And 0 in any of these categories is going to mean you don't have an extraordinary client. If you make great things with a client and the pay is great, but they have you on call 24 hours a day and disrupt the rest of your business, you can't sign on more clients like that. It's the same thing if a client is super respectful of your time and offers great value, but the projects never quite turn out, or you hate doing them. You might still be able to work with these clients, in the future, continue to work with them. They're good. But what we're looking at here is trying to engage with the clients that really work for your business. So they may not be the best fit going forward, and you don't want to kind of sign on more like that necessarily. So if you have any 27s, that's incredible. Those are your extraordinary clients. Those are the clients you're going to focus on. Very often when people do this exercise, though, they might not have 27s. They might have 18s. They might have 12s. That's okay. That's the right direction. You want to pick your highest ranked clients, the ones with the best ratings, circle those. And after you circled your clients, you want to work on discovering the characteristics, the connections, whatever kind of elements may add to these clients being the best fit for you versus others. So, what commonalities do these circled clients have? Are they the same demographic, age, gender, location, education, anything like that? Those are the easy things to start with when trying to build out this extraordinary client profile, we'll call it. But once you get through those most basic, everybody knows it type characteristics of these folks, don't be afraid to dig deeper. If all your clients love golf or making candles on the weekends or quoting 80s movies or whatever it is, then that's something that can be truly important going forward for you with your messaging and can determine how you're strategically going to engage with these clients. So, dig deep. Don't be afraid to get a little bit weird. Think deeply about the conversations you've had with these clients and where you can make some more obscure connections. Also consider, where did I first meet this client? What circumstances led us to working together? What problems did they have initially that I helped solve? You want to find common threads between these clients, and you want to use them really anywhere in your business, but you can use them in your video strategy. The other questions here on the worksheet, which I scrolled down a touch on my screen, can help you look even a little more for connections. So I'm going to pop 2 more minutes up on the clock, and we are going to kind of finish out that profile as we move back to the other screen. Okay, so let's build out a simple strategy. Ultimately, you can get much more complex with this, with what we just learned on the last exercise, but in a super simple, straightforward, or in a very simple way. We're just going to look at what we have going on here. So, um, and another note here: sometimes folks, they feel like when you break it down to however many extraordinary clients you have, 2, 3, 4 clients, and you're trying to speak directly to them, is that too narrow if you're creating, say, a marketing or a sales campaign? And the answer is, if you're a solopreneur especially, no. Like, these people are the ones you like working with, you have success with. These are the people that you need more of. So speak directly to those folks. And again, what we're doing here is a loose strategy. If you want to dig deeper, we've got a 1-page worksheet on that same blueprint document. It's on page 25, and pages 16 to 25 kind of give a lot of the build up if you want to dig deeper into any of these things to put together a little more of a comprehensive strategy. But here's the quick version. First, what are you hoping to do? Are we thinking about a sales campaign, a marketing strategy? What's the purpose of this strategy? What are we trying to do? And you can kind of write down as I go through here. Okay, so you know what you want to do. We know who we want to engage with that strategy. You know your extraordinary client. Where do they hang out? Online, or otherwise. But is it a Twitch stream or is it LinkedIn? When are they hanging out there? Are they on in the middle of the night or at sunrise? Every day, once a month? What do they like to talk and hear about? Are they into the latest news or the newest business book? Do they like to learn how to put together video stuff or business strategies and exercises? Dig as deep as you can on where and how to best engage people just like your extraordinary clients. And now that you know what you're trying to do and who or kind of where and when you can engage them, consider how to engage them as well. So we kind of brought up what do they like to learn about, or how do they what keeps them entertained or whatever. Um, so consider now if you have any content that you've already created that can be either repurposed or fits the bill to engage with these people. Maybe you have a downloadable PDF like the blueprint. Maybe you have 30 episodes of a video podcast. Maybe you have hundreds of self shot dance videos. How can these elements be useful? And as things come together, it's also crucial to consider the gaps that are left there. So if you have certain things that might work well with your strategy or campaign, and you have gaps left, you have to also consider what can you create, what can you afford to create from both a monetary and a time side, right? What can you create to put those things together? And now that we know what you're doing, we know kind of where, when, and how you're going to reach folks. You can determine a couple simple goals. And when I say goals, I'm talking about SMART goals. Everybody knows what those are: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, timely goals. If you want to break down, go back to the blueprint, but that's pretty common business rhetoric at this point. You have to set up those goals so you know whether that strategy is working. And here's maybe the most important piece. WWECD, what would my extraordinary client do? If you're stuck and you want to vet your decisions at any point during this process, look at the decision through the lens of your extraordinary client. For instance, would they find the GIF of a cat furiously typing away on a computer funny? Will it help me achieve my goal? If the answer is no, don't do it. By answering those few questions, you should have an outline of a strategy. You have a purpose, you know where to and how to engage your target audience, and you know the type of content that you should use. You've taken an inventory of what you have on hand and what you might have to create to fill in the gaps. And you've set up goals that will let you know whether everything works or not. So I'm going to leave it up to you to sand down the edges, fill in the details, but every step of the way, consider your extraordinary clients. They're the ones you're doing this for. So what did we do today? We defined extraordinary clients. We went through an exercise that helps you identify your extraordinary clients, and we put together a simple strategy. That's it. So thank you very much for coming out, and happy to take questions.